Yeah, most certainly is. But we are into Champion Select, ladies and gentlemen. Bard hitting the bench first up. Hart not going to be on that champion. We'll see what UP decide to answer with. Whether we're going to have any cheeky rises let through this time around, I have a feeling probably not. We'll see what UP have planned.
Yeah, so Bard, when you have to ban supports, you know you're in against one of the good support players of the LPL, and Bard's just so dynamic, does lots of different things, and don't want to give it to Hart, especially with his late game map movements, able to take his friends with him if he's on the Bard.
Most certainly. Magical journeys all around, but not going to be happening this time. Annie going to be banned away, actually. Amazing banning that away from himself, which is interesting on the side of OMG.
Young banning it away from Amazing, you know?
Yeah, Young saying, okay.
Play something else.
If I can't play it, I don't want you to play it.
Young didn't want to play it. It's top lane.
Yeah, I know, but he used to play a bit of Annie.
Yeah.
When he filled in for the OMGs. But yes, probably not going to be playing the top lane Annie, although it is quite cute. They're in the top lane now, but haven't actually seen it just yet. Gragas was banned away here from UP, and of course the Kalista to follow up as well. Very standard bans towards OMG. You're never going to see Uzi on that Kalista, I don't think.
Just way too dynamic in there. Able to get Amazing nice and safe. The defensive capabilities of that Fate's Call. Also able to get nice and aggressive in the lane. Soul linked. Especially on the W, doing all that extra trading damage just means that it's hard to stand up to a mechanically sound player like Uzi in a 2v2.
Most certainly. And of course, Uzi in the laning phase, that is definitely where he shines as well. I mean, we've spoken time and time again about him punishing every CS that you are going to be going for. So, look, it is going to be the Alistar follow-up, and that is triple support bans towards Hart.
Yeah, Hart just getting picked on here. Might have to default back to something like the Janna or Morgana. Has played it recently, so I'm sure he's completely fine. Maybe even a little bit flattered that this is the case.
Yeah, exactly, and it's not a whole lot of time that you see so many bans going towards the support position, but none of them are Thresh. So we'll see what OMG decide to first pick.
Maokai banned away from Xiong. Sivir still available. You have to talk about it. They prioritize it very highly, but the Ryze also escapes the ban list.
Yeah, Ryze escapes, Sivir escapes, Rek'Sai, of course. There's so many options here, and none of the mid lane picks have been even thought about. So Victor and Azir both there as well. And it's dangerous. They haven't banned away Nautilus or the Thresh, so Hart still has options.
Yeah, and Hart's got a very open champion pool right now, and they look to see if they can funnel him onto one of them. Leaving up Ryze, I feel, is a dangerous play there in the top lane. But looks like they're going to do it.
Yeah, Jiang just going to lock in that Nautilus. Could be a flex pick here. Of course, Jiang able to take that to the top side. We've seen it before, but Amazing most likely going to be playing that one in the support role. Amy, considering the early pressure of a Rek'Sai, I'd understand that trying to go up against Loveling here, who wants to be getting around that map early. And Long, it's a bit of a no-brainer here to lock in the Ryze.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, see whether they can get anything happening early. They actually deny both picks, it looks like it, looking towards the Sivir.
And even the synergy between these two picks is massive as well, because you can get that Ryze into Rune Prison range so much more easily.
Yeah, he's a facilitator. We saw that Lulu was used in the game previously when Dandy was able to grab the Ryze in the top lane. This time it looks like they're going to use the Sivir for the facilitation role, be able to speed him up, make sure that Long is always on the back line.
Yeah, and OMG, we'll see whether they've got any plans here. Of course, they must have gone into this with some sort of idea of what to do next. You don't just throw 3 support bans away and then not really have an idea of what to get done afterwards. But Echo's been locked in from Cool, and Loveling has locked away the Rek'Sai. Still potentially flex picks available here, as Jiang could take that Rek'Sai to the top side and Cool could give him the Echo there. So not necessarily lock things in stone, but it looks like this could be the arrangement here for OMG.
Yeah, so Cool is the Loveling player. Cool is the Echo player on the lineup for OMG. Already picked it up once against LGD. Didn't manage to come through with a win there, but we'll see whether he has a little bit more success this time around. And high damage potential right now out of Echo. Such an assassin in that mid lane. Can dive on you from very far range. Able to get both of the Time Winder procs across afterwards. And on the return, does a lot of burst damage if he's that full AP build.
Well, Amy actually going to take a very aggressive choice into the jungle here with the Nidalee lockdown. Sketch locking that one away. Punished is going to lock in the Thresh for Hart, and that makes a whole lot of sense. Some of Hart's most impressive performances have, of course, been on that Thresh. So OMG now having to choose very carefully as to what they're going to take next, and especially Uzi. We'll see what they decide to put him on.
Yeah, so right now, when you look at the supports, it seems like OMG banned all the kill lane supports. So they're trying to keep Uzi nice and safe versus Hart. Don't want him to get picked off during the mid game or really heavily engaged on in one of those team fights. So, and it looks like they're running even further disengaged for Amazing. He's picked up Vayne as well as the Janna. The Vayne Janna lane, you know, the old classic.
Yeah, do you want to take us through that one, Spawn? Really powerful lane in the 2v2, am I right?
As soon as it gets past 25 minutes, incredibly strong towards the late game.
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't really do much in the laning phase portion, but, you know, Vayne doesn't really either, so...
That's a very good point. So you're sort of just sacking that lane. We'll see whether OMG are going to try and pick up any form of lane swap or anything like that. But at the moment, OMG's lineup, of course, if Uzi goes off on Vayne, we've seen him do it before, but it just hasn't been very much recently.
Yeah, it certainly hasn't. It's very hard to do against tanky lineups. But right now, Unlimited Potential, relatively squishy.
Yeah.
There are some members that can lock Uzi down, you know, playing it into a rise. Someone with a point-click CC is going to be dangerous, especially without a cleanse. Heal very important at the moment, but that's what they're running into, and it will be the top lane terrifying Nautilus.
Yeah, the top lane terror of Nautilus. I'm glad that you spoke about it like that. Of course, it was a Luca showing us exactly how powerful it can be. But before that, Jiang actually picked that one up and took them to at least one victory, I believe. So Jiang playing well on that Nautilus, and it has pioneered it.
We'll have to see how it does against the Rise in the top lane, though. So
yeah, that's a good point.
Just a lot of consistent damage comes through there. No sustain in the Nautilus lane. Does have the shield, though. And that is the matchup. Jiang back on Nautilus, and along he's been able to grab Rise. Nautilus was prioritized as first pick, so OMG must have a plan.
They most certainly must. And we'll see whether it involves moving around the map as a unit very early on, or whether they're going to try and sort of make sure that they fight away from Long as best as they can. But this is the Echo into Jace matchup, and how does this one work, Spawn?
I actually haven't seen any competitive play at the highest level, but just speaking on how the kits interact, Jace able to poke from a long distance. Echo doesn't really like that, but if ever an all-in comes through, Echo is incredibly sticky and should be able to keep up with him.
Well, on the other side of the rift, of course, towards the bottom, we do have the duo lanes of Vayne and Janna versus the Sivir and Thresh. And is this a lane that you just do not want to take Vayne Janna into early?
Yeah, you definitely don't want to. You can get caught out. A lot of poke damage. They push much faster than you. It's just very hard to get through it. Look for a lane swap if you're OMG.
Well, we'll see whether there is a lane swap, but let's get on to the rift. And here we are onto the rift, ladies and gentlemen, for OMG versus Unlimited Potential. Our second matchup of the night, of course, third game. And we're going to see who can start off this series with a victory. Whether UP can turn around their sort of losing streak of late, or whether OMG can pick up Uzi a victory on Vayne.
Yeah, and they're looping around looking to see, oh, Long won't spot them. Does get a cheeky ward over the wall. So now they will.
Yeah, OMG know that they've been spotted as well. Jiang able to get an auto attack on that ward. Cute little trap there from Amy as well, just to make sure that OMG not going to be able to stand on the Krugs. I love that Jace skin, by the way.
Do you?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Not a fan of Jace in general, but do like that skin.
It's a full metal Jace for life.
I always thought he was a bit blocky. You know? I don't know, something about it.
How dare you talk about the glorious leader of the revolution like that? No, that's Victor. Sorry, wrong side of the law.
Creator Victor actually looks very similar to that that particular Jace skin that we're witnessing right now.
And lane swap has been accomplished right now for OMG, so they get Uzi up in there, freeze the lane early, and it's going to just be a 1v0 with the junglers getting the follow from both the top laners and the supports.
Yeah, and UP are just allowing this lane swap to happen as well.
Yeah, and, you know, we'll see whether they can really push down structures, make it work early, secure an early dragon for themselves, or if Uzi gets to a free Blade of the Ruined King and is just able to assassinate people around the map. Fantastic duelist is Uzi, especially when he's got something like Vayne, and we'll have to see whether he can make it work.
Yeah, Amy just going to pounce around these minions as well, able to get a whole lot of work done early. Of course, the clear of Nidalee is still ridiculous. It's cool. Aiming for an early level 2 if you can get it.
So you start trap on Nidalee, it means that they get rooted in place. You're able to CC peeps, the creeps into range and get the reset onto your top, although that time Amy missed both of them, unfortunately. That's a sad story.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate because Lung started off the Raptors a little bit too soon, and Amy didn't manage to actually get the stuff.
Oh, blaming the top lane.
Yep, that's just how it works.
All right, so look at it. So you get some auto attacks. Generally what you want to do is you want to trap, auto attack twice, spear, auto attack twice, get you a little bit more before the red buff starts wailing on you. With a jungle follow, maybe not as necessary because you're not really going to go as low as you will solo, but Nidalee is one of the few junglers that can stay close to 100% life with one potion and then go into a ganking lane with the other one available.
Yeah, the Primal Surge also helping out a whole lot as far as keeping you healthy. Also gives you a little bit more clear time as well, the extra attack speed. Sketch just allowing all of these creeps to die. Has a nice freeze here on the bottom side of the map. Azuzi pretty happy with his in the top side as well.
Yeah, certainly is. That cannon creep so healthy. And this is the other reason Jungle Nidalee still very popular. Scuttle crab control throughout the entirety of the game is unrivaled. No one does Scuttle crabs like Nidalee.
Yeah, the fact that you can stun up that Scuttle Crab, get all of the extra bonus damage from the CC so easily is really important. OMG going to try and clear out a ward here. They do manage to grab it, do have to sacrifice a pink ward for it there as Hart was making a visit here to the mid lane, but Punish is going to survive.
Yeah, both teams were actually on the respected side of the mid lane. Of course, Unlimited Potential controlling that bottom side of the jungle. OMG, they have the entirety of top side cleared out, and their lane is, of course, cheating towards that edge of the map.
Well, Cool doing fine in this lane. Actually has a huge minion wave as Punished was possibly zoned away from them by just the sheer amount of OMG members towards that mid lane. But Cool, definitely having a fine time here against the ranged champion that is Jay.
Yeah, and right now it looks like OMG want to be able to get back down to that turret. They have bumped into Hart, though. We'll continue to zone him away.
Yep, there are a few members of OMG available.
Missed it.
Yeah, misses the dredge line. There's the stun as well as Amy's going to get a whole lot of damage down. Punish picks up the kill with the accelerated shock blast, and that's first blood.
Yeah, and just a little bit of a misplay coming through there. Amy now on Loveling as well.
Yeah, Loveling needs to be very careful, actually. Already taken down to half health, and this is the power of Nidalee. I mean, you hit level 3, you have all of your spells, and she just does so much damage in Cougar form.
Yeah, has the execute available as well. So just, yeah, strong all-around duelist, very good jungler. A little bit squishier than the popular junglers right now. That's why we don't see Nidalee played as much. Do need that tanky support, but this time they've run a poke kind of counter-engage composition. They've got the Jace, they've got Nidalee, they've got all the CC coming through in their top laner. If they ever chunk someone out, they're going to be on them in a flash.
Yeah, and then as soon as sort of someone gets close, Long just stuns them up with the Rune Prism.
Yeah, exactly right. And everyone disengages with the Sivir ultimate, able to reposition around the map very quickly. I like what UP have brought to this pick fan phase. Very heavy execution focus, but should be able to make it work.
Yeah, I really like the fact that they have the Boomerang Blade as well. That's just some more poke available for Unlimited Potential. Maybe not with the same range, but it's still there in case they lock anyone down.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, if any of the CC hits, able to send that across, definitely agree, especially if it doesn't hit minions. Just does so much damage as well. Punish actually was able to grab a blue buff as well this early in the game. Probably why Cool went for the early back, just didn't want to have to deal with that from Jace. Gets the Codex shop in.
Yeah, so he manages to get the farms. He's still actually ahead here. 5 CS in the lead. Amy making his way around the enemy jungle, able to get some wards down as well. That Trailblazer is in his back pocket. He's been farming really well on this Nidalee.
Yeah, it certainly has. And a very healthy cannon creep in the top lane. Wave reversing means that Long will be able to get back up there and start CSing. Uzi level 6 might try and fight him.
Oh, nice grab of that cannon creep as well. Thought that melee minion was going to get in front of
the
Q.
Oh, look at it.
Yep, curving the bullet.
New Rise is actually cool.
Yeah, Cool actually finding Amy there in the jungle. Forces the flash out of the kitty. UP going to have to be a little bit careful here. Of course, some extra vision now available from OMG in their jungle.
And something I do want to talk about Unlimited Potential's composition right now is the fact that there's a high probability that they're going to have triple tier. And Jace is actually one of the few tier champions that spikes early. It doesn't need the upgrade to come through to really make the tier useful, as we have 4 members strong in the top lane.
Yeah, for both sides, actually. Actually, not only 3 for OMG. The flashes to come through. Teleports down as Loveling looking for a knock-up. Hart going to get caught by that one, but the Dark Passage going to get everyone in there, but Hart falls down. Uzi picks up the kill. Amy, he's going to get knocked up at the same time. Uzi still trying to get some damage down. Sketch able to get in there. Jiang uses a nice shield, but it's not quite enough as Punished is there with a Shock Blast to lock down the kill. Amy was so close to dead.
Yeah, and UP got their 5th member there before what OMG did. Able to get in, equalize the trade. I think it was 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1.
And cool, he's just still farming up in this mid lane. 15 CS up, but 2 kills onto the Jace.
Yeah, those shock blasts are starting to hurt. Does have the longsword as well as the pickaxe as well. Phase dive going to be used onto Punished here as he's using that W to try and get some health back. Cool. Cheeky auto attack. Doesn't get anything as far as that passive is concerned though.
Yeah, you don't really want to fight Echo in melee range. His 3rd proc is a lot of damage. That's what Punish wants to be able to do. Just land the poke through there. Bottle and potions though means that Cool has a lot of sustain in this lane, and Punish, even with the 2 kills, starting to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, he's got the exhaust here for Cool, I guess. So if he does get all in, then he does have that option. I do like that. But it's going to be very scary if Cool does manage to get in because he's just got so much mobility.
Uzi's stalked long here. He's going to go in for the 1v1.
Yeah, he's looking for it. Loveling makes his way around as well. Long trying to get the damage back. Lands an extra Q as well as the Silver Bolts are available. Uzi gets the kill. This looks all too easy there for OMG. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Jiang getting caught out as Amy tries to execute him. Pounces on top. That's going to be the reset, and they lock down the kill.
Yeah, so able to trade top laners right there. Long has got a little bit further ahead in experience. Still Xiang with a CS advantage just because of how easily Nautilus fares in that department, and blue buff's going to be stolen away.
Yeah, Loveling heading in there, of course. Doesn't want to pick it up himself. Not a whole lot of use to a Rek'Sai as well, considering the low cooldowns and everything like that. Cool. More than happy to grab that one through, and it's an extra one here for OMG.
Yeah, on the other side of the map, Amy was able to steal away blue as well. So triple tier comp actually in here for UP. The fact that there are 600 gold means that they have a really efficient spike at around the 21 to 25 minute mark, and they're going to be able to pressure very hard throughout the rest of the map.
We'll see whether OMG can get any work done sort of just before that margin.
Yeah,
Do
first
they have
and
an
second dragons. They need to be able to contest first and second dragons. The problem is a lot of poke damages here.
But Hut is just going to get destroyed in the bottom lane as OMG are easily able to lock down that one. Might be able to get themselves a turret as well on the side of OMG. Really tie up that gold. The UP have managed to get a little bit of a lead in. Being said, Long able to clear out the minion wave.
Yeah, Uzi tumbling into a wall just to make sure that he gets a quicker auto attack reset coming through there, and they're still sticking away, trying to get Long even further behind. Uzi 2-0 on 1, CS advantage. OMG putting a lot of resources into their star AD carry.
Yeah, Uzi almost with that Blade of the Ruined King completed as well. Bilgewater Cutlass and of course the dagger are already done. Just needs that recurve bow and the combine recipe. And when will this Janavane combo get going? Is the fact that Uzi's now 2-0 and 1, is that going to help accelerate this, of course, to a point where maybe 15 minutes is going to be the margin?
Yeah, generally it's whenever you're able to pick up your first major item in your boots too. Vayne does very well with movement speed and attack speed. Boots too, fantastic pickup coming through there. Blade of the Ruined King just suits the build so much. Attack speed, lifesteal. The active is super useful because you actually do start a lot of your jewels in the range of the Blade of the Ruined King. Try and set your condemn up with the slow. So right now, Uzi, even though he hasn't got boots too, can probably take the 1v1 just because Scatch has gone for the Avarice Blade combination in there with his BF sword. So yeah, whenever he can find him by himself, we'll look to fight.
Well, especially now with that Blade of the Ruined King. Amy going to sweep out his own jungle just to try and get rid of the vision that OMG have managed to put down. But now you can see only 500 gold the lead here for Unlimited Potential. But of course, they haven't even hit these sort of relevant power spikes that we're talking about. I mean, Punished, he's at a point where he's incredibly strong. We'll see whether they can position themselves to get that poke down. Yeah,
Punished with that Manamune as well as the Brutalizer coming through. It's very well positioned, but the rest of the team with the Tiz just not ready to fight. Not even Magus finished up for the Nidalee. Amy a little bit further behind than he would like, even with the CS advantage. Just hasn't been able to get the early game that he wanted.
Yeah, OMG just moving back towards this bottom lane in a turret, now getting pressured from Uzi, who misses some cannon creep, very unfortunate. Takes a couple of ticks of that boomerang as well as he just tries to clear that wave towards the turret.
Yeah, just trying to shove it in, get it back off the tower. Of course, now that it's on UP's lane, it will start stacking up and pushing out. So expect Scatch to just push that one through as quickly as possible. And Xiang, he's got a freeze here. Rai's going to be forced to go elsewhere on the map.
He's just hanging around in his base at the moment. Catalyst and Tier now completed as Timewinder going to do some work on these minions. Cool making his way towards the inner turret.
Yeah, but Cool took a huge shock blast, and all of a sudden, OMG, they're looking to siege this one down.
Yeah, Uzi with the Eye of the Storm, able to get a few extra auto attacks in while the turret wails on him, but he's going to be fine in the end. Excel, whoa, amazing. Takes the majority of his health bar from that Shock Blast. This is exactly what Jace is wanting to do, and this is exactly when he wants to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Jace is really strange with a tier because, as I said, doesn't need the transformation. One of the only tier champions that doesn't rely on it stacking up a lot, as long as he's got that combined and he's able to spam out the spells. Really happy to do so, and you saw how much damage he just did with just a Brutalizer. Also chunking out Uzi now. They need to be careful that they don't let Punish go unchecked for much longer.
Yeah, Uzi pretty happy to have a little bit more sustain here as well with that Blade of the Ruined King. So as long as he's auto-attacking these minion waves, he's going to be feeling okay. Cool not, though. He's almost down to half health one more time from Punish. There's the parallel convergence. Heart doesn't want to stand around there as they're trying to zone away the UP members from this outer turret. Death Sentence not going to find Uzi as he just gets the last couple of auto attacks in. They take down the outer turret in the mid lane. Yeah, that was really cute coming through from Cool, actually. Able to put a lot of pressure there. There's Loveling hanging around Xiong's lane. They want to set up a dive here, but 3 members already heading up from Unlimited Potential. Yeah, Loveling able to spot them out with the Tremor Sense, though, so it's a nice little Prey Seeker onto Heart at the same time. Uzi hanging around here, just clearing out the minions, and they're looking to just try and transition, take down the last remaining outer ring turret. Yeah, so you see Uzi, he's got his farm on, able to get 2-0-1 in the early game, now going to take out the last outer turret, sending Cool up there to help him out. Taking a little bit longer than they necessarily would have liked. Xiong goes and visits bottom lane instead, and maybe a successful defense. Yeah, well, of course, UP just have so much wave clear at the moment. The fact that these Shock Blasts are just able to clear out so many minions so quickly means that UP just don't give OMG that much of a window to get auto attacks on the turret. Yeah, and you see all the tiers now starting to stack up. Rod of Ages also going to come through from Rolong. Rai's probably going to peak the latest in his tier. It's probably going to be Nilly that takes the longest to buy the upgrade, though, because she just struggles for gold so much early. Is Long going in? Yeah, he's popped the ultimate. Amazing. Going to flash away, but I believe Long had already given up on that particular kill. Maybe a bit of a waste of a flash, but better be safe than sorry. As Cool's going to try and take this blue buff. He's going to be able to. His clone copying him. Must be frustrating. I don't know. If I could go back that far in time, 4 seconds, I would. Would you? Probably retract the last statement I just made. Didn't make so much sense. Very true. But did manage to prove your point retroactively. Yeah. I like that. Punish going to help at least clear out the little minions there with the Shock Blast. That was material prepared weeks before, by the way. So, Jesus. I'm glad the execution was up to scratch. So much time travel. Uzi taking down some more creeps here as Long as just trying to do all of his buttons on all of the minions. Wouldn't it be great if everyone went back with him, though? Yeah, that's what I sort of wanted when Echo first got released. I'm like, ooh, he takes everyone back to the start of the team fight. Yeah. Oh. I was just thinking that would be so frustrating. Oh, you get an ace, like, best wombo combo of your life, just the big note. Yep. It's almost like your Echo accidentally hits ultimate. Oh, dear. Wow, that's another Shock Blast landing on it. Is he not a bad one from Punish? I think we just figured out why they didn't do that, by the way. Yeah, I believe so. I think the trolling potential probably a little bit too high. I think Bard is the closest we're going to get. I don't know. We see the newest game, you're able to eat your allies and but you spit them out. But if you're an ally, you also get to leave whenever you feel like. But if he's quicker than you, you're going into the enemy team. You know that, right? Oh. And I've seen your reflexes, Atlas. You're in a lot of trouble when I play. Yeah, there's not going to be very many opportunities for me to get any work done as far as getting out of that guy's mouth. Yeah, not a lot of reflexes for this guy. That being said, OMG pressuring towards the top side. Long, though, with some free time there in the bottom lane. Still to CS deficit, but the box goes down here. Amazing gets caught out. Shock Blast for so much damage. Sketch just cuts him down with a boomerang. Yeah, you talked about how much upfront burst comes through. You saw the Shock Blast followed by the boomerang. No minions in the way for that one. And Sketch able to take him out. All of a sudden, Long being collapsed on. Yeah, he is able to take down the outer turret, so he's going to try and back in this brush. I don't think that's going to be good enough. Yeah, Jiang's able to get in there. Depth charge used. Might have been overkill, but he's going to get stunned up here as well. So Cool easily locks down the kill, but they still lose the turret. Yeah, they certainly do. So, you know, overall win in the top lane. Unlimited Potential continue to push through. They're going to be able to take a second one for themselves. That was just superior map movement coming through.
Actually,
Yeah.
oh,
What the
wow. Shock blast and just the tip of the boomerang blade able to chunk Uzi to half.
Yeah, and Amy not able to get a spear in there as well. Probably would have been the death of Uzi. I want to see all of this poke landing at exactly the same time. That's what I want to see, because it'd just be disgusting.
And then I want Echo to rewind everything. Sorry, I'm just stuck on that ability there.
Oh, I like it. It's not. It's even a. It's a chrono break. It's not even a rewind. I guess it is actually a rewind, isn't it?
How is it not a rewind? He goes backwards.
It's just not what it's called. That was my only point. Rewind, I believe, is owned by the old Zillion.
Killian the Zillion.
Well, you can, because we haven't seen him in competitive play. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
he's dead.
we did. Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh dear. Well, cool. He's just going to continue clearing out this mid wave. Sounded a little bit like I was talking about the state of the game being cool. It's not. It's just him.
Amazing.
Yeah. Amazing amounts of damage onto that support player as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
now we've gone deep.
Super deep. This thing's getting a little bit too much now. As UP have started off the Dragon, but given up on it immediately.
Great wave management actually through the OMG lineup. Bottom wave pushing in nice and heavily, as well as mid being repetitively shoved. They will fight for it.
Yeah, Loveling looking to try and grab it, but doesn't get there. Lung's actually the one that secures it as Amy super low. Needs to be very careful. Pounces his way up over the wall. Takes a dark passage towards the bottom side of the map as Loveling is taking a bit of damage. UP trying to get the work done as far as the poke is concerned. Get them soft enough, but phase dive gets cool in amongst it. Chrono break out, and he'll be fine as Hart now gets a heal as well as Uzi just gets exploded. I don't know what he was doing over that side as the depth charge comes through onto Long. Can Cool get the phase dive in? He does. Another parallel convergence. Unnecessary though as Cool's going to fall down. UP trying to get back at this stage. It's a 1 for 3 in favor of OMG, and Uzi just sacrifices himself.
Uzi played like the flanking top laner role there, like got in behind him, was ready to mix it up, did his best melee impression and died.
He should have been Urgot.
I don't even think Urgot would have lived through that.
No, I don't think many people would have lived through that.
Should have been Maokai is what he should have been.
Yeah. Well, OMG, they do like themselves some Maokai.
Yeah, unfortunately it was banned, you know.
Yeah. Teleport into the top side. Loveling wanted to try and take down that turret, and then says, oh, what was I doing wasting all my time? Just used his ultimate. Ugh, so frustrating. But Amy getting some traps down as well. Wants to try and lock himself up. A Scuttle Crab if he can, but not going to find it here.
An incredibly close game coming through. 2 turrets to 2 turrets, 7 to 5 kills. Gold lead equal. Everyone relatively similar to their counterparts as well. Maybe only Loveling that is stronger than Amy right now. And you have to say, those tiers still haven't been stacked up, so UP would be happy with where this game is.
Yeah, and it's going to be a much earlier power spike for this UP lineup as well. And what does it necessarily mean as far as relative power level based on the gold being so incredibly even? UP just going to be far and away ahead?
Yeah, so UP, as soon as they get those transforms coming through, just have the ability to do this, disengage for days, throw out skill shots behind them. Relatively squishy lineup with the exception of Xiyong and Loveling coming through for OMG, so they need to be careful and make sure that they're not overcommitting to these objectives.
Yeah, cute little clone just going to be running around a little bit sporadically.
He's not cute, by the way. Full AP Echo clone is terrifying.
Oh yeah, parallel convergence actually. Sketch tanking up that turret for quite a long time now, but Uzi, he's in split push mode. He's heading towards the mid lane, going to be able to take down that inner turret. A lot of damage, a lot of wave clear from UP. They might be able to get this inner, but it's going to be a trade in the end. Parallel convergence one more time from Cool, but look at this poke from UP. This is what they want to do. They want to siege. They want to get you off your turrets.
Yeah, but the problem is they want to do it when Uzi isn't split pushing and taking structures by himself. Might even be able to grab himself a blue buff if he so chooses. Does not, decides to recall instead, but OMG win that trade.
Yeah, they got enough work done there as well. 10 CS in the lead for Uzi at the same time. Does have that Phantom Dancer completed now as well.
Xiyong stayed for a long time.
He certainly did. The ultimate going to be used here at the same time. Death Charge comes through, but yeah, Punish easily locks down the kill.
Xiyong legitimately watched the whole of UP walk over 3 wards on their way to top lane and just decided he wanted to spend some time with a grey screen. Maybe bathroom break?
Yeah, something like that. I could imagine. I've done that one before. No, I try and leave, but I just die. UP, I'm going to keep clearing out these minion waves, but this is exactly what UP want to do. They want to have a man advantage so that OMG cannot engage on them and then just siege down turrets, and they're doing so easily. Death Death Sentence, sorry, not going to land onto Loveling.
And they also have a really good skirmish coming out when they have an uneven fight, although they're going in.
Yeah, there's the flash, the knock up onto Lung as teleport comes through from Jiang. Doesn't actually have the depth charge available.
Huge miscommunication coming through from OMG. They were actually pinging the ward on the top side up near the turret. So you can see it just sitting above Baron there, repetitively pinging out that ward. Xiyang decided to go to one much closer to the fight, but unfortunately was behind UP, so couldn't actually catch up to them in the end. Sivir Ultimate 2 wasn't available, but were they just able to back away? Acceleration gate coming through from Jason. Couldn't get the engage they were looking for.
Yeah, so a little bit unfortunate, of course, wasting the flash of Amazing there, who wants to make plays, even though he's on the disengage expert of Janna. Uzi standing on a ward, gets pinged out just a little bit, but the rest of UP are coming down the mid lane. Looks like they're happy to avoid Uzi at this stage.
Yeah, they just want to make sure that Uzi actually in a 1v1 duel is really strong. Maybe Jace can take him at this point, but everyone else needs to be careful. So instead, they're just making sure that they can siege down the structures, get a gold lead through objective control.
Yep, Jiang, Dredge Lang going to find himself a wall.
Oh.
What the? Amazing just takes so much
So
damage
last Whisper
from
is
this
being
poke.
finished, and that is the strongest Jace will get. Maybe the exception of the Transform coming through, but he doesn't even really care. And you can see exactly what this comp wants to do. The spears, the Jace poke, even that Boomerang blade we spoke about. They're clearing out waves for now, but have to see how long they can survive this onslaught for.
Yeah, and Uzi wants nothing to do with it. He's like, nah, I'm going to be in the bottom lane. I'm going to be
Uzi's
as far
I'm
away
gonna
from everyone as possible.
Yeah, I'm going to be as far away from Punished as I humanly can be.
Seems to be working,
We'll
though.
see
They
you
are
at
still
6
ahead.
items.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe. I'll see you when I'm killing their Nexus. You can have a look at me on your screen. I won't be anywhere near you. Right, another shock blast comes through from Punish.
That's a cool sound effect, actually, through from Jay.
Yeah.
I don't like the sped up one.
No, Loveling as well. Doesn't like anything about it. Doesn't like the sound, doesn't like how it feels. So he's going to have to potentially back away. He is going to, as UP now with 4 members strong
so
heading towards the mid
Cool
lane.
away, they force Loveling away all of a sudden. Mid lane opening up, going to be able to pressure this turret.
Yeah, Jiang is here, but of course, Riptide not going to be able to get through these minions quite fast enough. Death Sentence not going to find him. Still able to tank up a lot of this
They're
damage.
going in.
Yeah, Depth Charge is there. Loveling looking for it as well. Punish gets caught. There's the staggering blows. Beautiful use of the Lantern, and he's going to be safe here as OMG again thwarted in their engage.
And it's so hard to chase him. Look at how low Amazing in. They've got the flank potential coming through from Arise as well. And objectives, honestly, are so hard because of the poke that will still come out of Punish.
Yeah, what I do like is the fact that OMG have now decided to go for this dragon immediately. Not going to wait for any poke or anything like that. Spear not going to find the mark as it is going to be Loveling locking down the dragon. Parallel convergence from Cool. Not going to find the stun just yet as OMG continue to get poked out. Amy nails the spear onto Amazing as Punish now thinks this is the go button. Looking for boomerangs, looking for spears, but Cool. He's got the phase dive back off cooldown and he might be able to turn this one around. But in the end, it is going to be Dragon going to OMG, and that's number 2.
Yeah, and we'll see what UP can force off the back end of it. Sketch wants the bottom turret. Everyone else headed mid. Actually, it was a bottom minion wave. Everyone else headed mid for the turret. Wrong side of the map, and looks like they're going to be able to trade objective for objective.
Yeah, of course. All of that tower damage that Rise is going to give to your team. Doesn't actually matter. Punish was, of course, there, so he's going to be able to get that work done. Amy steals away another blue buff here as well.
And this is really important. Double blue buff on a composition that is so poke reliant. Kind of want one on Amy as well as Punished, and they'll be able to do that the longer they steal these away.
Yeah, they've just got so much more map control as well. Extra vision. Cool doesn't have any life, so that's important as well. So he's going to have to head back to base one more time. He's got the Zhonya's Hourglass, so a whole lot more ability to sort of get around these fights and make sure he gets the stuns from these parallel convergences.
Yeah, so the reason Zhonya's so important is you dive in there with the parallel convergence, able to Zhonya's up, and people kind of meander around.
Yeah, waiting for your Zhonya's.
Waiting for it, and then you stun everyone, hit your ultimate, everyone dies, and it's just good feelings for all.
Yeah, well, Punished and Heart still hanging around this top side. Uzi just looks at the turret and it dies. He's an intimidating player. I didn't think that he actually did damage with just
all 3
staring at
transformations have just come through right now, so they didn't have them last time. They had a little bit of a skirmish in the mid lane, but all of a sudden, Amy's gone back, picked up that Seraph's Embrace. Transforms come through for Jace and Rise. So you would think with the triple tier comp, they're up in gold. Now all the transforms coming through, UP want to fight.
Yeah, and I want to have a look at the rest of the items here as well, because Sketch has picked up the Ghost Blade on his Sivir, and how do you feel like that sort of works in this comp?
So they're a poke comp, so you know he's looking for the flat penetration when he sends a Boomerang Blade across, going to do a lot of work there. Also, an earlier power spike to coincide with the tier builds means that he's got attack speed, crit, as well as armor pen off 2 items instead of the 3 items that you would normally expect coming through from Sivir. And it also gives you this really cute window where for 6 seconds, you're incredibly strong. You're able to pop that active, go through, skirmish incredibly effectively. And because they're looking to poke chunk people out, and then it's up to him to be able to get the last couple of autos, the 6-second window is going to be more than enough for Sivir to get in and out, really play that short range, I guess, more of a weaving AD carry as opposed to the persistent damage threat that Uzi's going to bring to the lineup.
Yeah, well, let's hope that it's not exactly sort of like how how Endless played the Sivir, which is mostly like a melee AD carry. But we want to talk about this team comp, of course. Now they've got all those transformations. How much of a timing window do they have now before they could potentially get outscaled by the OMG lineup?
So Jace is really the only person that falls off. Nidalee is relatively good late game as well, always able to assassinate those squishies. Ryze is a great late game carry,
That's a very good point.
Able to go more of that bruiser build as we've been speaking about tonight and still do relevant damage and good CC in the late game. So Jace, even when we talk about Jace falling off, he goes like Infinity Edge now in the modern meta and is just able, like with a Ghost Blade Infinity Edge, to burst people down in hammer form. So I think that will be relatively good. Uzi's a concern. He's got a Janna in his pocket. He's got 2 items now, as well as a QSS. Yeah. He gets towards an Infinity Edge, able to upgrade into a Mercurial Scimitar and really take over this late game. Vayne will be able to deal with squishes really well. People talk about Vayne's potential because of Silver Bolt procs against tanky members. Sure, it's fantastic, but if you're able to skirt fights and assassinate people as Vayne, your cleanup against squishes is so good.
Well, we'll see whether Uzi can do it. Of course, hasn't seen a whole lot of recent success on the Vayne. Sort of stepped away from it for a while. We'll see whether this is going to help build his confidence back up. But at the moment, 2, 1, and 3 definitely had a great time thus far. Now has a QSS as well. So these death sentences, anything else that might lock down the Vayne, not going to be an option here for UP.
Yeah, important to be able to break the first rune prism. Loveling caught.
Picks the juke there on the side of Heart, but Loveling pretty tanky at the moment. It's going to be more than okay.
That was like a boomerang ricochet. Crit and Loveling cried inside.
Cried on the outside too, by the looks of things. He's lost a whole bunch of health.
Yeah, you see BF Sword now picked up the punish. Probably going towards Bloodthirster first up. Wants to be able to get some lifesteal in that build as well as some flat AD. And you can see they're patrolling, looking for members of OMG. Need to get control over their waves. That's something that OMG has done well the entirety of the game. That bottom wave's always been shoving because of Uzi's split push. And no area right now for UP to fight. They're going in.
Yeah, there's the dredge line from Jiang as well. Hart immediately flashes out of the way. That is actually going to save him here. Beautiful use of summoners by the UP support.
Yeah, and we just saw exactly what happens when you chase too far. Loveling ate the shock blast, ate the spear. And now all of a sudden, he has to go back, heal up, use the ultimate to get back into the fray.
Yeah, and cool now with so much cooldown reduction with those Lucidity boots and of course some Morellonomicon. He's able to use 2 Time Winders as the wave's heading down and easily clears out those minions. So Uzi continues even more farming on the top side. And does it look to me, well, it looks a bit to me like OMG is sort of settling for a bit of a split push style. Is that going to work here? Wow. Oh, Lung's going to get caught out by the Time Winder and everything from Cool. The Howling Gales are there, but Lung just so tanky at the moment. He's going to have to use the ultimate to get back. He's able to dash himself to safety, but Sacrifice is amazing for him. Time Winder doing some work here to the UP lineup as Cool is going to proc his passive and get to safety.
Especially against Heart there. Cool had to use the ultimate to get out. Uzi, in the meanwhile, be able to take another objective. So they're sacrificing kills for movement around the map right now, and OMG come out slightly ahead again.
Yeah, it's actually going to work out for them here as Uzi with so much attack speed able to easily take down that turret. Loveling's here to help out as well. It's going to take some cheeky crocs.
Yeah, so in the end, looks like Siege will be set up again in the mid lane, and their only option right now, OMG, is to split push. You cannot fight against their Siege comp. They kite back so incredibly well. Ji-Young's really the only hard engage that's going to come through. As long as they're able to clear out some of the minion waves and continue to get the outer turrets, there's only one left up. Eventually, Uzi's going to be knocking on the front door.
He is, and Does OMG have sort of another opportunity of potentially getting a flank here to try and get things done, or are UP just so good at disengaging that it's not going to work either way?
Problem with flanking is, honestly, even Xiyang isn't tanky enough to be able to get the flank they need, because what's going to happen is everyone is going to turn around, be able to just blow him up with that poke from distance that we've been talking about, the spear, the shock blast that comes across, the fact that Long is just going to CC him to death. And then you're going to be fighting an uneven match. It's just such a risky fight right now because of the power spikes that came through that they don't want to go anywhere near UP.
Well, the thing is, UP hitting these power spikes that you're talking about, but they're only 300 gold ahead. They may not necessarily be using them as effectively as they otherwise could.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to tie down Uzi. He's been able to take down, I think, 4 of the 5 structures so far.
Yeah.
Really has been a menace. And OMG have controlled the map well. We talked about the side wave control. Once again, Long tries to set up a slow push. A lot of the OMG members around to make it happen.
Yeah, Hart might be caught out here as well. Uzi in the back line, relatively untouched. Actually takes a shock blast, does a lot of damage, but he gets the kill onto Hart there as OMG tanking up everything. Flashing forward here from Uzi as he's now looking to try and go on a rampage in this one. Condemn will soon be available. Uzi gets shut down though as Punish just destroys him. Look at the AoE from these UP members. Thankfully for the OMG fans, he is going to get taken down, but almost the savior here. And in the end, it's the triple kill off the back of Uzi's double that locks down the ace for OMG.
Yeah, Cool went berserk off the back end of that fight with all that cooldown reduction weaving in and out. Uzi went very aggressive at the start, and it was punished in hammer form that was able to get a lot of surprising burst damage on top of the AD carry and make him pay.
Yeah, Loveling actually coming through to try and get this Baron done with the UP members not alive just yet. Parallel Convergence going to keep Cool really quite healthy here, taking down this Baron.
Risky. They need to back away.
Yeah, you can't let the poke find you.
And it's not even that. Rise about to come up with teleport. They weren't going to do it in the next 3 seconds. Once again, finally UP have got control over the minion waves. They're shoving both bottom and top. But let's have another look at this. Hart gets caught out and blown up immediately. And then Uzi on the back end just goes incredibly aggressive, flashes in, gets the double kill. Amy gets over the wall and Cool chases him, and Punish just turns around and blows Uzi up, lands the combo, then goes into hammer form afterwards, chunks 2 people out in the long. With the ultimate coming back off cooldown, is just so incredibly durable, able to use all the spell vamp that comes through. Unfortunately, Punish fell down, otherwise they were doing their best 2v5.
Yeah, Uzi actually might be caught out here. The ultimate's pop from Scat, dodges out of the way of the boomerang and the flay. The box is there as well, but Uzi uses the QSS. He's going to be safe. And UP, they don't find it after blowing everything.
Yeah, and instead they actually lose a member. Uzi saunters back to base, putting on an impressive display of the mechanics, and Hart looks a little bit sheepish right now.
Most definitely. And look, a lot of people probably might be discounting Uzi's ability to play Vayne. He hasn't had that much of a fantastic performance on it recently, but this game looking very different, especially that last series of play.
Yeah, it certainly has been. He's now picked up the Infinity Edge to cap off trio of very expensive attack speed, lifesteal, and now the big crit item to come through on top of that. As Loveling needs to be careful still.
Yeah, still manages to take down both of the Krogs, so a success.
3-0-8 for Loveling. Had a very impressive performance so far this game. Xiyang, even after a slow start, has turned into a fairly tanky member, now going towards that Righteous Glory. And they just haven't been able to set up around structures here, UP.
No,
Poke seems to be very difficult to execute in the current meta, although Uzi half his health.
Yeah, it seems to be still working, but they're just not quite getting the poke into any engage on the side of UP.
Yeah, so not just able to get the team fights that they're looking for. Amy sweeping out Baron. That's another objective they do really quickly. And you see this poke definitely shoving the OMG side around, but they're just not able to grab anything for it. The map's already been opened up enough that OMG can just get the recalls in.
Yeah, and they're still able to clear out a whole lot of this vision, as well as Hart making his way up the river. Along with the teleport, he's going to be backing away, looking to finish off the Void Staff. He does add that to his repertoire here. As Amy looking for some Merc Treads as his next item, maybe even with a Death Cap alongside. And these spears are going to be really hurting. But if anyone gets on top of Amy ever, he just gets 3 hit.
Yeah, it certainly does. Very easy to blow him up. Has a little bit of deceptive health because of the shield that will come through, but Long and Amy are in the same boat. They're just all shield and HP, no resistances right now, and they're going to die so quick.
Well, Amy actually decides instead to go for those Lucidity boots, so just wants to throw more spears. OMG starting off the Baron one more time. Silver Bolt's, of course, a fantastic option for taking this one down. It is so low already down to half health. OMG might actually commit to this one as no. Looks like they are peeling off. A little bit of indecision here as the Baron's only at 2,000 health. They are going back in. Amy wants to get in. Not going to find it as Loveling locks it down. Parallel convergence from Cool. He flashes forward, actually, uses the Chrono Break. Actually, the Zhonya's was there as well. Chrono Break not used just yet. Amazing going to tank up a spear as Jiang. I think that OMG probably just wants to disengage.
Yeah, they're trying to, but
there's the flash into the Rune Prison. Lung's going to be able to lock down Amazing. Sketch picks up the kill credit. But that's a support traded for Baron. I'd still take it if I was OMG.
Yeah, definitely, especially because of the fact that right now UP want to be sieging these turrets. Against Baron buff minions, they might be able to grab one, but after that, going to be a difficult ask.
Now, there's the Primal Surge there onto the Sivir, making sure that he can get as much work done as possible. As there's actually Heart getting caught out. Uzi wants to go aggressive now as well as Punish, taking so much damage, but the spear's good. Amy locks down that kill, and he's going to be okay. Punish now at half health. Cool uses a Chrono Break to get himself back to health, but Loveling doesn't have many options now sitting in that Raptor pit. Parallel convergence for a bit more of a shield onto Cool. Boomerang going to find him though. UP, they do have 2 dead on their side, but it's even with OMG. It's just the Baron buff that separates these teams.
But we spoke about how it's going to be difficult, and then OMG decides to fight, pull the trigger. They really wanted to secure that red buff, and it backfired in a bad way. UP probably get more than they were bargaining for off the back of it.
Yeah, Cool actually lands the parallel convergence, but if any more poke lands onto this guy, he's so dead. Amazing. Yeah, he was expecting to have some backup. Cool said, I'm missing a whole bunch of my health bar. Sorry.
They hit me twice. I'm out.
Yep. No more. Thank you very much. He's just not quite tricksy enough on this Echo. But 6-0 and 2, he's definitely had a great time. The Abyssal Scepter now completed as well as the Rabbidan's Death Cap. That's a 5-item Echo. He just needs a Void Staff and he's going to be tearing holes in people.
Yeah, don't even... Void Staff would be a great item, but you just look across the line, there's not really all that much MR coming through right now, so...
Yeah, maybe he builds a Luden's Echo or something, goes all in.
Lich Bane, really good one-shot item for the Sivir.
See what he does decide to go with. UP dealing with the Baron relatively well though, just putting the pressure on themselves, making sure that OMG can't push forward.
Luden's Echo typically is a bad last item in your build. You want to get it second or third to make full use of, I guess, the flat scaling, but Lich Bane gets better as you get more AP, so generally why you go that one. But Amy caught out.
Yeah, Death Charge to come through onto the middle. We've mentioned how squishy he is, able to pounce himself a little bit further away, but he is eventually going to fall down. Heart also in a whole lot of trouble. Slowed down to high heaven. Cool locks down the kill. And Uzi now fighting with Lung and Punish. He's trying to tumble his way to safety. That crit was disgusting. Punish now trying to accelerate himself away. Loveling not going to find the Randuins, but OMG, they're going to be able to take down this inner turret.
Yeah, and just going to point out something little on the lineup. No upgraded sweeper on the top lane or the mid lane means that Uzi is invisible. They can't get the CC down onto him. They had an upgraded sweeper. Lung just would have been able to chain CC him. Punish would have come over the top, cleaned him up, but instead, Uzi just dances circle around them, gets another outplay.
Yeah, Jiang with the flash dredge line looking for Punish. Finds the Nexus as parallel convergence comes through as well. They get a Nexus turret, but OMG not wanting to push their luck.
Yeah, so they do back away. Punish still respectable, 5-1 and 6. Going towards a GA as his last item, it looks like, and it will be Dragon number 3, picked up by OMG on the way out.
Yeah, of course, UP did manage to pick up the most recent one, so wanted to grab some extra movement speed on the side of OMG, but they've broken the base. This is the big deal.
Yeah, double defensive item actually elected into here for Uzi, going for a Merc Scimitar as well as probably a Banshee's Veil, so a lot of MR. He's kind of...
Well, he's realized how squishy this lineup with UP is. He's saying, I'm not going to waste money on the old Blast Whisper. I don't need it.
Yeah, plus the fact that Silver Bolt just scales much better with attack speed, so you don't really need it in the long run. So, yeah, definitely a respectable decision coming through.
Yeah, get behind that idea as Punish now looking to try and take down a Scuttle Crab. Pretty sure Amy is about 1 for 5 attempts at spearing that Scuttle Crab. A little bit unfortunate.
He moves quick, man.
I know, he's this tricksy little guy. Needs to have as much defense as possible, because he can't fight back, so... Definitely all props to the Scuttle Crab for trying to dodge and weave away from these spears. That's all he's got, man.
And it looks like right now UP are banking on one last team fight. They got double GA on the way, Long and Punish going for that. Cross between Blade of the Ruined King and, I don't know, a BF sword item coming through for Sketch as well.
Essence Reaver.
It's not an Essence Reaver.
I hope it is. Probably double lifesteal. Would that make sense here against this comp?
I think Cess would have made more sense.
Well, Long's thinking that he would have really liked one as well as he gets caught by the dredge line. Inner turret's going to be the focus here from OMG though. They're continuing to push forward. The poke's good though from UP. OMG trying to get something back. Timeline just clears out these minions so effectively. On the side of Cool. Would like to check up on what his 6th item is looking to be. OMG now pushing forward. There's the parallel convergence. Punish gets caught up by that one. Dredge line comes through. Immediately removed. Uzi now trying to run around this fight. Long, he's the next focus. He's going to die. Uzi tumbling forward. Picks up a double already. His heart. He's going to get taken down. It's a triple quadra kill for Uzi now. Sketchy's getting flashed on. It's a pentakill for Uzi's Vein. And OMG, they're going to win the game.
And that was half a smile, Uzi. Come on, give me something.
That looked like a pretty big grin to me. OMG, though, they're going to be able to destroy the Nexus. UP finally fall down. It was a fantastic attempt at poke, but OMG just able to skirt around the side, split push effectively, and they couldn't do anything in the later game.
And we talked about, that's a little bit better. We talked about late game Vayne against Squishies. Uzi just tore them apart, three-shotting every member on the team. And hands-on head across the UP lineup, not looking very happy.
Not looking very happy at all. And that game went very long as well. These guys have to play another game after this, and it's really difficult to get back after what is a pretty disappointing loss because they were playing the poke. They were playing it so nicely, but just didn't manage to get anywhere after getting the poke down.
They couldn't set up around structures, and honestly, the fact that they couldn't flank because of all the upfront damage coming through there, Uzi was just running around the map, taking structure after structure, keeping OMG in the game, and it just got to the point where both he and Cool against the Squishy members, because they went like Void stuff, no resistance coming through on both ends, going for late GAs, and Uzi and Cool had a field day in those fights.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous watching Cool get so much damage down and then Uzi just tumbling through, making sure he secures all of the kills. So pentakill for Uzi, his first of the season, and of course, now, you know, on the Vayne, probably feeling a little bit better about that pick moving forward. We'll see whether we see any more of it. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a short break. We'll be back very soon with Game 2 between UP and OMG.